Welcome to Ruffing the Passer, the show where I talk football, miscellaneous stuff, and mostly football. I'm your host, Sam Ruffing, and as you may have noticed, in recent news, I got a haircut. Is it nice? I don't really care. But other news, the important news, Brian Flores, head coach of the Miami Dolphins, was fired on Monday, which, Black Monday, the day after the final game of the regular season, in which every single coach seems to be fired, which is a good time because it's right at the end of the year. There you go. And if I'm going to be honest with you, that move was definitely a little shocking to me. And I'm going to explain to you why. But if you haven't already, subscribe down below, hit the bell to get those notifications for whenever I upload. And like, comment, subscribe. Nope, are you already getting subscribed, I guess? Well, unless you haven't, then I don't care. I'm just happy you're here, honestly. So, yeah, share this with your friends and family. Now, on to the video. So, Brian Flores was fired. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, as I said before, I'm a little surprised because the Dolphins had just come off another winning season, 10-7. No, 9-8, excuse me, after finishing 10-6 last year. And I thought they were building something good down there in Miami with that young defense. Brian Flores is a really good coach, in my opinion. But the young defense that is full of studs like Xavier Howard and okay, I can only think of it as Xavier Howard, but there are others on that defense that are pretty good. And the offense, which is loaded with Mike Gesicki and Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Parker, among others. The O-line's a bit iffy, but, Brian Flores just came off his second straight winning season after starting out 4-12 in his first year. And they just beat New England in a pretty much meaningless game because they were knocked out of the playoffs last week when the Broncos failed to beat the Chargers. I apologize, Dolphins fans. I cannot do anything for Vic Fangio. Thankfully, he's gone. So why did they fire Brian Flores? Well, yeah. It's a very interesting situation down in Miami. I've heard multiple reports. One of them from Pro Football Talk, I read that Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins, had a rough relationship with Brian Flores. A lot of it over quarterback, and the stems back to the 2019 season when the Dolphins were obviously tanking. Early in the year, they started out 0-7, I think. Which was going according to plan. They were most definitely going to get the first overall pick. But Brian Flores, who as a coach doesn't want to lose any credibility, which I cannot blame him for, started actually trying to win games because you're not going to lose any players in the locker room if you're trying to win games, no matter how bad a team you are. Players don't want to lose. So trying to tank the NFL is not going to work. But Dolphins owners wanted it. Brian Flores did not. And they had a little bit of a scuffle then because the owner wanted Stephen Ross wanted Joe Burrow. But Brian Flores was just trying to win some games so he had some credibility with the players next year. Which he did do. He went on to beat Tom Brady and the Patriots in the final game of 2019, which is beautiful. But anyways, no, they cost them the chance to pick Joe Burrow. They still had the chance to pick Justin Herbert. They didn't. They selected Tua, who has been, well, I like him. I mean, he has a winning record in his career. His stats are decent. He's not the most athletic quarterback ever, but I think he's more like a lefty Mac Jones. He'll win you games. He doesn't commit too many mistakes. He's smart. And Stephen Ross wasn't exactly happy about getting Tua. And anyway, this is what Pro Football Talk said. They said that Stephen Ross was actually the one who wanted Deshaun Watson and not Brian Flores, which is a little weird because reports are coming out that Deshaun Watson only wants to play with Brian Flores, and now that Brian Flores is interviewing with Houston and is the favorite to land that job, could Deshaun Watson stay there? I don't know. I wouldn't want Deshaun Watson anywhere near my team at this current moment because of, his reasons. But that's not why we're here. Anyways, Stephen Ross wanted Deshaun Watson. That's according to Pro Football Talk. But I've heard other rumors that... Oh, well, I guess I should elaborate a little bit more. Brian Flores did not want Deshaun Watson, according to Pro Football Talk, because he would be a distraction to the locker room, which, fair enough. But, which is weird, because I've heard conflicting reports that Brian Flores and Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback of the Dolphins, had blew up at one point. Like, they were not on good terms because of the rumors that they wanted Deshaun Watson. And I've heard that Brian Flores wants to move off Tua. I've heard that. So, that's awkward. I also heard a report from former receiver of the Dolphins, Kenny Stills, who said that who was the one who claimed that Brian and Flores and Tua didn't get along the greatest. He also claims that a lot of players were not completely sold on Brian Flores as a coach. They said he was a little too hard, kind of like most Patriots coaches, like a Matt Patricia or Josh McDaniels. Heard a report that former Broncos said that he's filmed practices, which, well, in his time in Denver, which, gives even more credence to the fact the Patriots cheated. But anyways, it's about the Dolphins. So, Brian Flores apparently made the cardinal sin of former Patriots coaches and went way too hard in practice without earning the respect needed to do so by, making the playoffs or winning games. So we got two conflicting reports here. And, Dolphins have had a very similar situation to this before with Adam Gase, who also made the playoffs with the Dolphins and then was fired after his third year. Yeah, when he went 24-26, I think. Yeah. Which is interesting. Brian Flores has I think he has a winning record. I don't know. The one I saw said 24-25 though. But it's interesting. Although, to be fair, why he may have been fired was due to the fact that his offense has been atrocious lately. Not atrocious, but they haven't been good. The O-line's always been iffy for the past 3 years. He hasn't been able to find an offensive coordinator who can stabilize everything. So it's a little awkward there. But again, in conclusion, I don't think this was a great move by the Dolphins. I think Brian Flores is a really good head coach who coaches his players well. And if it were me, I would not have moved on because Miami was building something good there. I think one more year and they would have definitely been in the playoffs. For goodness sake, they have at least 2 first-round picks this year. One from the Niners and one from another team. Unless they only have one from the Niners. I can't remember. They also have another 2 first-round picks next year. And so that's just me. I would have kept them. They need to rebuild that O-line. Jalen Waddle's a beast and all that. They got a bright young quarterback in Tua. And, that's the Dolphins situation. This has been Ruffing the Passer, the show where I talk football, miscellaneous stuff, and mostly football. I hope you all have all enjoyed. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later.